I have failed so many times in life and in business to a point that it felt like failure doesn't exist for me anymore. You will fail your way to success, they say. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, as long as you never give up. Have you heard those words before? Drop yes down below in the comments. This video was actually created to motivate entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, just like me, to push, work hard, and fight those feelings of depression and anxiety. If you're tired of making the same mistakes and repeating the same life lessons over and over again, if you're frustrated with working hard but feel like you're going in these circles, then I assure you this is for you. You see, everyone loves that failure to success story. Everyone wants to be that failure to success story. The key to moving from failure to success is to be able to own your failures. Firstly, own them, then leverage them in the right way. And in this video, I share with you how I've owned my failures and decided that it's high time that I convert those failures into success, and how that has panned out for me. Because failure has enormous lessons and power in it. We just need to be able to open ourselves up to that failure and really understand, did I fail or did I just trip over something that could be useful a little bit later? Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack. Me being me, I found a side hustle. I was selling something called Justine, their cosmetic products and skincare range and whatnot. And I thought, well, this is my side hustle. And as life had progressed, I'd gotten married, and my husband and I started bigger side hustles, and we got into car rentals. Our desire was to rent out cars to people that were blacklisted or didn't have credit cards, because prior to all the big names actually moving to a space where you could actually go and rent a car with a debit card, there wasn't that service. And so my husband and I set out in the big world during our 8 to 5 job with this side hustle of a car rental business. And we grew that particular business from one car well into double digits, to a point where I think we must have exhausted our credit limit at the bank. And things were going well, things were progressing. The challenge that came with that is that we had our 8 to 5 job, and if anything came up during this period of time, we did all the sorts of monkey tricks that we do in the workplace. Somebody suddenly gets sick, or the keys are burst, or some crazy reason like that, that we give. I'm sure you relate. Do you relate? I see you. Tell me in the comments, I relate. So, nonetheless, we would then do what we need to do until one car met in an accident, the second car was in an accident, somebody ran away with the car. Fortunately, there was tracker in that car. And then there was a number of things that happened that, with this incline, came a sharp decline. And we were like, flip, we need to get some of these cars back, sell them off just to try and recuperate our losses so that we can regroup and decide what we're going through. During this decline, I thought, oh gosh, am I never destined? Or should I say, during this decline, I felt I'm not destined to be an entrepreneur. I am not destined to have that side hustle. It's not that I didn't like the work that I was doing, but I liked being an entrepreneur a whole lot more from that side of the fence. And so, from that huge lesson in life, my husband said, why don't we go into another side hustle where we have an exchange? We get the money, we sell the product, and that's where the relationship starts and stops, so that we can. And so we regrouped, we got into the next side hustle, and guess what that was? It was selling diapers, nappies. Yes, we were selling Pampers. But we found a niche market, meaning we found a group of people where we knew day in and day out they are going to be needing nappies. Babies are born all the time. However, we had found a high density area here in Johannesburg, and we even got a shop. We got a shopkeeper, and you literally needed to open the big pack of Pampers, decant them, and then sell them off in smaller amounts to people where they got money on a daily basis and were not able to accumulate all this money to go and buy that huge pack at the end of the month. And so that was our target market. And life was yay again. And so there came a day, distribution halted. Then suddenly there was not much importing. And here's a funny story. I believed at a given stage, when Pick and Pay said this particular product is limited to four items per person. I really believed our faces was next to that limitation, because when Pick and Pay and other places were running specials, we would clear out the shelves. Why? So that we could service our clients. And the distribution and the import and whatnot just came to a halt. The chain that we were involved in, and then there was nothing. And then I thought to myself, we failed in cars, which is big. We failed in nappies, which is small, but it's big. How the heck are we going to move forward? And ultimately, that got us into chicken farming. And when we got into chicken farming, because we were investing lump sums of money in this process of chicken farming, and we were reaping our rewards every 6 weeks, we were getting a return on the investment amount that we had put down. We felt like, well, we've been doing this for almost a year. It seems like it's solid. These people have their ducks in a row. So what do? We go and buy a farm. Of course, we did all the research to what we knew at the time. Sadly, the biggest lesson I believe that we learned was trust. I failed to I failed to understand how is it that people cannot tell their truth. I failed to understand that somebody else held back information from us, and I failed to understand why is it in business that we all want to promote Ubuntu, but we hold back pertinent information. And that led us to a demise of 5 million later. And you would think that shit should stop you right there, right? You would think that should stop us in our tracks. While we were trying to understand what was happening in this whirlwind, that is when property investing found us. We had gone through property investing education, and long story short, we met many people in the classroom. We had gone through to an environment where they said you will meet investors. And then I also needed to debunk all those illusions of you will meet investors, because we come with preconceived ideas. So nonetheless, that is a video for another day, but I have done a video about who investors actually are after we took the different layers off that baby, right? But the point is that throughout life, we kept on hitting a roadblock. We kept on getting to a bigger fail and a bigger fail until we really lost the most, which was 5 million. I felt so naked because I've started work since I was 16, and here I am close to the door of 40, and I'm 5 million in debt, and everything that I worked for over that period of time just felt like it went for naught. And this is where I want to encourage you, is that during this crazy time, I started my business. And this last 3 years, 3.5 years, have been a whirlwind because I had to learn about property investing while I'm learning about business. And until I found all the different moving parts that I learned over time, I really just said, what have I learned the most from here? What could I take and run with? So when somebody disappoints me today, I don't dwell on it anymore, because I think to myself, are you worse than the 5 million that I lost? No. So please step. So that's what goes on in my mind. That is a visual of what goes on in my mind. Are you worse than 5 million debt? Step. And immediately it's like, that person doesn't exist anymore, because the reality is that people will disappoint you. Trust will fail at some given point, but your love for wanting to move from one place to another will evolve over time. And it's in today that from all these lessons, I've turned all my failures into a success where I'm able to share with people right here on YouTube and in a number of different platforms to say, you can do it, learn from my mistakes. The second component is that I've sat down and said, what has worked for me the most? What would I really wanted to have known from the beginning? And those are the things that I talk about within business, entrepreneurship, mompreneurship, and property investing, just so somebody else could stumble across the video and be motivated and say, geez, if she can do it, come on, man, I can drop the mic on this baby. So if you like this video, I want to say there's another video up here that I'm going to point to. I know that that particular video is then crafted and made just for you.